You will have people taking advantage of you. And I have it so many times in my career. Like I've seen it. Like for example, when I was in flooring business, so many times people would come to me, nasty guys, shady guys. Like I remember I was working for a guy who was flipping homes, and he was shady as they come. And I remember I would give him a price, and he was always trying to nickel and dime me. I did a couple jobs for him, and I remember those conversations when you come, for the final check and say, "Well, job is done now. Pay me $1,000." He's like, "Well, what about baseboards or what about shoe mold?" And you're like, "Well, that's not including an estimate." And my estimates, everything in writing was perfect. Like I had accent. Maybe it was broken English 10 years ago, way worse than it is today. But I have common sense. I have logic. I know what I'm promising. I know what I'm charging for. So this guy would come to me. He's like, I thought it was included. I'm like, no, look, it's not included. We have it in writing. And he would say something like, well, Dimitri, I don't know, maybe there's English barrier. I'm like, no, dickhead, there's no English barrier. You're just a shady contractor who's trying to take advantage of immigrant guys like me who maybe we have accents, but we know what we're supposed to get paid for. And that guy did not pay me. I have to take him to small claims. Happened quite a few times with me. And you will have to. People will try to take advantage of you. Why? Because a lot of people who have been here for a long time and trying to figure out the system, they think that if you're an immigrant, if you don't speak English, as a matter of fact, in the roofing industry, it's happening right now. Contractors are abusing subs, abusing workers, knowing that those subs will not sue them. So my second advice to you is don't let people take advantage of you. If you've done the work, I don't care if you in sales, I don't care if you on the labor end, always stand up for yourself. Don't let people walk on you just because you have accent, just because they might think that you will not take them to court. Or listen, I've been in court 9 times in 15 years. Usually it's Americans and people who literally thought that I will not show up. I remember one of my flooring clients took me to court for $11,000. We did the entire house. It was $4,500 job. At the beginning of the job, the guy told me that he's going to repaint his house completely. When you install floors, one of the four walls will have marks from the rubber hammer. It's very common. We talk about it all the time because when you finish and you're close to the wall, you will scuff the wall. We usually wipe it off, or we put in a contract that we're going to paint, touch up that wall. We ask homeowners to paint. It's a very common thing in the roofing industry and flooring industry. So I talked to him about it. I had email from him. He told me, Dimitri, once you finish with the floors, you're gonna we're gonna paint the house. And then he sued me at the end, and I felt in the beginning that something is shady. He tried to sue me for his furniture. He was asking for $5,000 for kitchen set, and it was one dent on one of the chairs. And me and my best friend at the time, we moved all the chairs. You cannot install floors without moving all the floors from one corner to another. I mean, some customers, they're just very hard. And I'm a pleaser. I'm gonna try my best. I protect the furniture, I protect the walls. I mean, I know what I was doing, but we moved the furniture. We've seen the dent on a kitchen set. Out of like 8 chairs, one had a dent. Obviously, we knew that we didn't smash it or anything, but he put $5,000 in a small claim, asking me to pay for it. And he put $6,000 to repaint his entire house, including ceilings. So he was suing me for $11,000 on a $4,000 job. It was all labor. He provided all materials, no complaints about floors whatsoever. And guess what? I showed up. I showed up with a with a attorney, and I remember, his comments. And my lawyer told me right away. He said, "Misha, he's just trying to take advantage of you, and we're not going to let him." My lawyer offered him $500 just to settle before the court. He did not take it, and judge gave him $250 for touch-ups. Here's how it went. I mean, like I told him my story. Granted, 10 years ago, it's broken English. And so this guy printed like 100 pictures, for furniture, for walls, like every mark on the floor, it was a picture of it, right? So he gave it to judge. Judge looked at it after 5 pictures, like, is this all going to be like this? Please take it. The thing is, a reasonable judge, reasonable person will always see who is right, who is wrong, right? And then judge asked him, what do you have for painting? He gave him a bid, and he's like, I thought we had a flooring. Judge tell my customer, I thought we were dealing with a flooring job. Why are you providing paint quotes for the ceiling? Did he mess up a ceiling and doors and jambs and everything? The guy was just so unreasonable. The moral of the story is this: you will have people like that, but you have to do what's right. You have to give your best effort to resolve it. And if they're suing you, they're taking advantage of you at any given time, guys, you have to stand up. Don't let people run over you. I call it um it's discrimination in reverse. Like all of this stuff where it's like, oh, there's English problems that you're having, right? Maybe there's misunderstanding and they're trying to take advantage of you just because you're not American. You don't know how people do stuff here. No, construction is very black and white. There's a scope of work, there's price. And I'll give you a few more tips, but this one right here is don't, you're probably not going to get discriminated. People probably not going to make comments about you just because you're Russian or Mexicans. But when they have conflicts with you, that's the first thing they're going to bring up. I had so many times, like recently, I have couple conflicts, like, guys like Kareem Hunter, for example. When it got nasty, I mean, he didn't show up for my conference. I called him out. The first thing he said, like, oh, I'm not gonna let Russian lie to you guys. I mean, who says it? I understand, Kareem, you're American and stuff, but I would never, like, immigrants would never say, Kareem, you are black and this is why you do what you do. No, like guys like that, they're more racist in a way than immigrants, because when in the case of conflict, that's the first thing they bring up. Oh, this Russian shouldn't be doing this. I remember one of my clients, I fired sales reps. One of my sales reps, his dad gave us 1-star Google review, and I have every single right to fire him. He was the laziest. He did not want to train in the writing web program, so we fired him. Company decided that nobody should have 15% closing rate. And his dad wrote me 1-star Google review. I did not have a problem to delete it because it was very racist. And he said, well, Dmitry, this is not how we do it in this country. Maybe where you from in Russia it is, but you cannot fire, he was arguing that the guy has 2 kids. What does having 2 kids have with anything? I have 5. I'm not gonna take from my kids to feed your kids just because you're lazy and you don't want to go in training. The story was I was taking all my sales guys for training out of town, like 4 hours from here for 2 days, paying for the hotel, paying for writing web, doing the whole thing. He was the only one. The night before, he said, "I'm not gonna go." I asked him why. He's like, "I don't want to leave my wife with the kids. She's a stay-home mom. I don't want to." Well, I'm leaving my wife. Everybody else does, and you have lowest closing rate in the company and you don't want to go on training, guess what? You're fired. And I have the right, legal and moral, to fire you. And his dad comes back, nope, can't do it. This is not Russia. So this is, what I call racism or in reverse, where Americans get offended when immigrants outworking them, firing them, and first thing they bring is, where are you from? Don't get discouraged. You guys will have it. You will have it probably many times. It's not fair, but you have to deal with it.